Hello, everyone, and welcome to Black and Nerdy Tabletop. I'm your host, Zephyrnix, and I think it's time for us to talk about the this. Now, I could have jumped on the bandwagon. I could have gone ahead and jumped and said what I had to say and blah 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 back when this happened 2 days ago. But I wanted to make sure that I got all the information, which means that I had to wait until Archives of Nethys went ahead and responded to it, to Paizo responding to it, to other people, not YouTubers and whatnot, but people who are part of the team who are maybe not with the company anymore, or speaking on their behalf, speaking on their exclusive behalf, went ahead and talked about it. Long story short, I wanted more information and I got it. So let's talk about this for a second, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the facts first and foremost, okay? So let's talk about the facts. Let's not speculate, but let's talk about the facts. And then later on, we'll go ahead and talk about things that are not confirmed, but we'll go ahead and have a discussion about them anyway. Fact number one, Paizo ended its formal agreement with Archives of Nethys, okay? So yes, they went ahead and it used to be, how to put this? The Archives of Nethys used to be called the official um online rule set and whatnot. If I'm being super honest with you, that has seemed to move closer to demi-plane. If I'm being 100% 100% with you. So as I understood it, the way that what really happened was there was a contract between them. The contract indicated that Archives of Nethys, if they reached a certain amount of money, then they would go ahead and move towards they would go ahead and pay Paizo a certain fee once they reached a certain amount of money. Unfortunately, that money was never reached, and I'm assuming it was based on a monthly a monthly time frame. So here's the thing: Paizo was providing all of the information, all of the content, and Archives of Nethys was the only one that was reaping any benefits from that particular contract. If I'm being honest with you, and I've worked in and with businesses for a long time. That is the first time I've ever seen such a generous contract from Paizo, and that was very generous. So I want to be very clear on that. Paizo could have ended that contract a long time ago. Um, but truth be told, if these other companies, I don't know what Path Builder is doing, but I do know that Demiplane is out there. If they are providing the rules and being more lucrative towards Paizo, then why not go toward that? They can do two things with Archives of Nethys: either renegotiate the contract or just terminate it altogether. It seems like they wanted to terminate it altogether. And let me go ahead and add in another part. And this is just me. I have hosted a lot of websites. Okay, so in my humble opinion, this is just me, it's an opinion part. Archives of Nethys should have added more ads to their website to go ahead and make sure that Paizo got paid. Now, don't get it twisted. I understand why Archives of Nethys didn't want to, and I understand why users would not want to. But the reality of it is that not wanting to does not pay the bills. And that is the reason, or at least that is what I'm assuming is the reason of Paizo's um decision to go ahead and cut it. So I gotta say, I understand where Paizo's coming from that particular perspective anyway. Fact number two, Archives of Nethys remains online. That's right, the website will not be shut down. They will be able to go ahead and continue working as they normally do, with the exception of they will have to go ahead and gain the information themselves. They'll have to pay for the information themselves instead of the information being brought to them for free. I believe it was free anyway. So this is actually not a bad decision. This means that they'll have to continue the website to keep the website going. They'll have to pay Paizo for each individual PDF as obtained, as you know, as it works. Or if I believe correctly, Paizo may have a subscription model where they'll go ahead and get things for free. So nothing really has changed, with the exception of the fact that Archives of Nethys will have to now pay for the content instead of getting the content for free. That's literally, I don't see any different than that. So that's pretty much all there is for that. Let's keep on going. Number three, Archives of Nethys is still able to host Pathfinder and Starfinder rules under the Paizo licensing. I do, if I remember correctly, they said that the imaging, um, they can't use the images, but they can still post the rule set and things of that nature. That's fine. That's good. That means the website will stay open. It'll do exactly what it was originally doing, with the exception of the fact that now they have to pay for the content instead of getting it for free. Which, if I'm being honest with you, is how it should be. I'm just going to be honest with you. From a business perspective, I don't see why anyone is upset for the fact that Paizo is asking to be compensated for their work. I'm just being honest. If anything, if Paizo would have done it sooner, then they wouldn't have had to laid off so many people. I'm going to put it there. So yeah, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Paizo is bad for doing this." No, no, not at all. In fact, Paizo should have done this sooner. I'm gonna be honest with you, because people lost their jobs because Paizo didn't do this. Because so that is the only part of the Paizo situation that I truly don't like. If I'm being honest with you, the fact that they did not modify their contract with Archives of Nethys sooner. Because if they did, maybe just maybe people wouldn't have lost their job. Moving on. Um, Number four, Paizo has transitioned to a licensing model that allows multiple community resources. Okay. To just kind of get into that here, Paizo has stated that it wants a broader ecosystem rather than relying on a single official rules reference. That means that, with other places like Demiplane and what do you call it? Path Builder and other places like that. Yeah, that's cool. That means that people have options. I prefer Demiplane myself. I rarely go to Archives of Nethys. Truth be told, I use it as um, kind of a secondary kind of thing because Archives of Nethys has a lot of old stuff to it. So, for example, with the new remastered, if I'm not getting the information that I want, for example, hey, I want to go ahead and use this. What was this old spell called before? It was called Magic Missile. Oh, okay, well, that's what Force Barrage is. Kind of like that, where you don't get that kind of connection, if you will, with Demiplane, unfortunately. So but so I like it, but I use it as kind of a secondary resource if I'm being super honest with you. Um Five. Archives of Nethys was previously considered Paizo's official rules reference. I did go ahead and say that during the contract they were considered the number one source for the rules reference. I already mentioned that before. Moving on. Number six, that official designation has ended with the contract. Well, yeah, obviously. Seven, other rule tools now exist and continue to grow. Yes, you once again, Demiplane, Path Builder, the Wondrous Guide, and the Foundry VTT are all support the Pathfinders in different ways. So that's that's a good thing. Like I said, so one of the reasons, aside from the reasons that Archives of Nethys wasn't contract was terminated, is because it wasn't supporting Paizo, financially. All these other companies do, but this one wasn't. Now, I personally believe, this is my personal opinion. If I didn't say this already, I might have said this already, but I'm gonna say it again. If Archives of Nethys put maybe two more ads on there, it could have been just banner ads, to stay out of your way, but to put two more ads on there to go ahead and increase their income by three times the amount, they could have went ahead and passed some of that income over to Paizo. Paizo would not have fired the people, would not have to have fired those people before, and nothing would have changed. So if anyone is to be blamed, unfortunately, I gotta say Archives of Nethys did it. Okay, I get why they didn't want to put the ads on there, but yeah, that doesn't pay the bills. And that's where we're at right now because the bills weren't being paid. Moving on. Other rules tools now exist. No, I'm sorry. Eight rather. No announcements have been made that Pathfinder rules are being removed from Archives of Nethys. No, no. It looks like Archives of Nethys is just going to continue to go as usual, with the exception of in the background they have to go ahead and pay one way or the other through a subscription model with Paizo or through paying for the PDFs individually. So that's fine. That's good. That's a good thing. That keeps Archives of Nethys up and running. That keeps them up to date. And that actually supports Paizo. There's nobody who should be mad at this. If you're mad at this, it's you got issues and you need to be educated. I'm just going to put it that way. Number nine, Archives of Nethys team has stated they intend to continue operating the site. There you go. So once again, the site's staying up. Number 10, Paizo has not accused Archives of Nethys for any wrongdoing. No, absolutely not. I haven't seen the contract per se, but based on everything that I've seen, everything that I have read, there is no bad blood between them. It's just business. They got to do what they got to do to support themselves. And I get it. You should get it too. I'm serious. Now, here are things that have not been confirmed. And some of this I don't believe, but I'll go and explain it. What has not been confirmed? Number one, Paizo fired Archives of Nethys because of poor performance. No. If anything, Archives of Nethys was anything but a poor performer. I'm being honest with you. They were good, good, good. Archives of Nethys is shutting down. No. We've confirmed that like with three different statements. Literally on this on not just them, but on this particular video right here. Pathfinder rules will disappear from Archives of Nethys. Once again, no. Demiplane is replacing Archives of Nethys as the official rule site. No, but yes. So, no, that hasn't been said, but if I'm being super honest with you, it is most likely the case. And I'm just being 100% with you. Um, in terms of the way the rules are written out and the way things are listed and the way things are presented on Demiplane, Demiplane is your one-stop shop for all your digital tabletop needs. I've said it before that that is not a particular um um like, that is not something that I have made up. I mean, that is something I made up. That is something no one has told me. No one told me that. That is something I made up because I saw the writing on the wall. So if you go back to my original videos, I've always said Demiplane is your one-stop shop for all your digital tabletop needs. I saw the writing on the wall, if I'm being honest with you, with Archives of Nethys. So the fact that this is all happening does not surprise me one bit. Um, what else? Paizo and Archives of Nethys are in a legal dispute? No, no, I wouldn't imagine for a second that it's going to be that way. Um, with the contract terminated, literally, it became an equal situation. You know, at first, no one when the contract was in place at that particular point in time, Paizo was creating the content. Archives of Nethys was benefiting from the contract. I won't, you know, so it wasn't even. But now Paizo is now terminating the contract, forcing Archives of Nethys, if they want to continue, to go ahead and um, um, either purchase the PDFs for the rule set or go ahead and pay that subscription fee for Paizo. So now both parties are benefiting from their connection. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I can't express that enough because I've seen people sitting there crying, flying off the handle. It's not a bad thing. What are you talking about? Um, Let me see. Last but not least, oh, Archives of Nethys will stop receiving updates immediately. No, they will not. Like I said, they now have the options to continue to go ahead and get that stuff, so it's not a problem. Players will have to pay to access Pathfinder rule set. No, God no. I don't go on Archives of Nethys, but I'm not even on I'm on Demiplane and I don't have to pay to go ahead and get the rule set. So no. So let's go ahead and say what actually happened. Long story short, Paizo and Archives of Nethys contract is now terminated. Um, and what does that mean for anyone else? Not really much of anything. It's just Archives now has to pay for for the content that Paizo provides. No one else is will see a difference with this one. That's literally what did change. Exactly what I just said. Will Archives of Nethys still update? Yes, they will still continue doing what they need to do. Will Paizo make why did Paizo make this decision? 3 out of 4 because of the situation regarding Diamond Publishing. Once Diamond Publishing kind of did not bring in the money that they were supposed to put in, and everything got tied up in litigation and whatnot, they had to go ahead and make a decision to go ahead and start if I'm being honest with you, terminating their contracts that did not benefit the company. And the contract with Paizo and Archives of Nethys, from what I can see and from what I've heard, did not benefit Paizo in any way, shape, or form, with the exception of the fact that it actually it made it easier for people to go ahead and jump on the bandwagon for Pathfinder and Starfinder. So Archives of Nethys will still be doing what they need to do. There's no change in that. And the only difference is Paizo is now getting paid from Archives of Nethys. Once again, no problem. I don't see a problem here. Um, What does this mean for Pathfinder and Starfinder players? Shit. No, it don't mean anything for you. Like, you're not even going to notice a difference, most likely. They, if anything, they probably just went ahead and said it just because it was a good idea to say it. But aside from that, that's pretty much it. Could multiple tools actually be better for the community? Yes. A lot of you use Archives of Nethys. I don't even use Archives of Nethys like that. But I do understand how multiple tools is a really good idea for for the system. It's kind of like if I'm being, I hate talking about D&D because I don't like D&D. But here's the thing with D&D, I've had multiple. There's D&D Beyond, and then there's the old I think it's called D&D something. It's a wiki. Long story short, I go ahead and go to both in order to go ahead and get information. All three D&D Beyond first, but then I have gone ahead over to that wiki. I forget what it's called, but I go ahead to that one to go ahead and get other points of information when I used to play D&D. Now that I play Pathfinder and Starfinder exclusively, well, you know, versus D&D anyway, because I play other games, Warhammer, I play Marvel um the Marvel game multiverse a lot multiverse thing. I play that as well. It's kind of like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but for tabletop, so it's pretty good. Anyway, moving on. Sorry, but I have found that having spots with multiple rules is really good because if one person didn't cover something or cover something incorrectly or cover something that is not I mean, missed something, someone else might have not missed it. So it works out really well, you know, or even different perspectives. There's no way that one stop, like one place is always the best place to go ahead and do. I mean, it's not good to have one spot to have everything, you know. Perspectives and different things always have been great. I'm just being 100%. Um, think of it, or think of this for a second. Some of you may know a certain game called Kingdom Hearts, right? Now, one of the biggest hits from that was the song Simple and Clean. Remember that one? Simple and Clean is the way that you make me feel tonight. It's hard to let go. All that good stuff. Well, here's the thing about that. That song would have never, or that singer would have never sing that song if it wasn't for the fact that she was influenced by R&B. Yeah, she was influenced by R&B created by Black people, African Americans, if you will, and because of that, because she was inspired by singers of the African American community, she went ahead and wind up creating that particular song, and that's how she blew up. So yeah, we would have never gotten that great song if it wasn't for other cultures coming together in certain situations. The same situation with here. It's great to have multiple perspectives. You know, at what point did you only listen to one YouTuber regarding this particular information? At what point did you listen to one YouTuber when it came to learning about one particular class? No, I'm going to go to, you know, if you're listening to me about the class, which I will be dropping videos about classes very soon. So definitely subscribe up. But I've also listened to other people. I've listened to Rules Lawyer in regards to how a certain class plays. In fact, he was the first one I looked at monks about. I've looked at No Not One when it came down to learning about Rangers, as well as going back to Rules Lawyers about Rangers and other people geared up about Rangers as well. So yeah, all I'm saying is that having multiple places is really good, but more so being supported by the people who are providing you with content is also good too. Right now, Paizo did just that. By turning in the contract, now Archives of Nethys has to go ahead and pay Paizo in order to go ahead and get their content for their website. And the creator of something should get paid if they're creating something. That's all I got to say about it. Because that's all that needs to be said. That is whole freaking 19 minutes of saying absolutely nothing that. Absolutely nothing more but what needs to be said. You guys have a good night. I am